There's a crisis in the field of computer science. North America's growing pool of tech companies is hungry for programmers. Schools aren't teaching kids how to code, though. That's what Stephen Foster wants to fix. He's the co-founder of ThoughtSTEM. It's a company that offers a course for kids aged 8 to 18 in which they learn to write code while they play a game called Minecraft. We talked earlier and I started by asking him how he came up with the concept.
So I'm a PhD student, and I started by making a totally different game called Code Spells, where you play the part of a wizard and you craft your own magic spells with code. And whenever I would tell someone about that game, Minecraft would come up in conversation. And after this had happened maybe 30 or 40 times, we decided that we should explore Minecraft as a way to teach computer science as well. And that's how Learn to Mod happened.
So let's talk about Minecraft for a second, and I'm going to have to establish my bias, which is that I have a 9-year-old son, so I'm extremely familiar with the addictive nature of this game. Have you had a chance to get a sense of what it is about it that draws kids? Why are they so interested in that particular activity?
Well, when I grew up playing with Legos, like all the time, and so I think it's a similar kind of draw.
It's the building aspect of it?
Yes.
So in terms of kind of introducing an element of instruction into a game, how complicated is it to teach while somebody's playing? What's the kind of, the combination of that adds up to magic?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, the goal is to make it so that there's not a distinction for the player. They feel like when they're learning, they're also playing.
And how did you do that? How do you design a game where that's going on?
Well, so in Learn to Mod, there are about 100 badges that can be unlocked, and so you unlock those badges by going through a really short lesson, and that's a coding lesson, and then you run that code inside of Minecraft, and then you unlock the badge, which is a lot of fun. Badges are a well-known gamification mechanic, and so that's the main way we glue it together. So
when we talk about teaching code, I mean, those of us who aren't PhD students in this stuff, think of it as very complicated, remote, hard to do. How is it that you can kind of distill it to a level where kids can get it?
Well, I mean, there are things about it that are very, very difficult, but the basics of coding are things that anyone can understand. I mean, I teach it to 6-year-olds. It's the idea of following a process very mechanically, the way that a computer would. And if you start to think that way as a young child, it becomes much easier to grasp the more difficult concepts when you're older.
Yeah, do you believe that coding is going to become, like one of the 3 R's, something that kids will just need to learn how to do in order to survive in this world?
It should, but I don't know if it will. I mean, it depends on whether or not we as a society make it that way.
And why do you think it's important?
Well, I want to live in a world where everyone knows how to code, because I think that that is the key to solving the problems that sort of plague the world that I live in now. When it comes to curing cancer, I think it'll be computer scientists who help with that. Solving world hunger, I think that's a problem that computer scientists are going to contribute to, and we need more computer scientists in order to solve those problems.
Meanwhile, and you've probably given some thought to this, but it is a subject that still is, it sort of belongs to the few, right? And in schools, it's one that girls are often not drawn to. Many boys sort of classify it as something that's too hard for them to do, and they shy away from it. Can we change our approach? Maybe it's through games like this mod. Can we change the approach of how kids relate to this stuff so it does become more accessible to more people?
Yeah, the key, though, is to try to convince them of that when they're young, before they've formed their opinions about what they can and can't do in life. So we're talking very young, like below 8 years old. We need to convince them that they can be computer scientists.
And the way to do it is just to show them that they're doing it?
Yeah, exactly. And just say, hey, what you've been doing this whole time, that's coding, and people do that for a living, and it's a really important skill.
Tell me about the software that you're launching worldwide in October.
So that's called Learn to Mod, and like you said, it's a Minecraft mod that teaches kids how to program other mods. It's a web-based interface where you log in and you write your mods with a visual programming language, so you don't have to type anything, but you're using the same concepts that you would use in any programming language that experts use. And what that code allows you to do is create cool things inside of Minecraft. You can build nifty things, and you can actually create entire multiplayer mini games inside of Minecraft.
And is this a kind of a tool that you could export to other games, or is it just ideally suited for Minecraft?
No, I think it could work for other games too. For example, the game I mentioned, Code Spells, which I've worked on before, we're using the same sort of technique. It's this game you play the part of a wizard and you create magic spells, but the code is the same, and it's the same kind of visual programming language where you don't have to type anything.
And is that also available?
It is, yes. Codespells.org. We're launching a Kickstarter in September.
All right. Stephen, great to have you with us for this.
Thanks.
Stephen Foster is co-founder of ThoughtSTEM.